You are listening to Larry Conners, USA.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
This is Larry Conners USA. Larry Conners USA.
I woke up this morning, got myself a gun. Mama always said I'd be the chosen one.
Images of Haitian migrants being hit with whips and other forms of physical violence is completely unacceptable. This behavior must be addressed, and we must provide accountability. The images turn your stomach. It must be stopped, this kind of violence.
And Senator Chuck Schumer, majority leader of the Senate, Democrat from New York, turns my stomach with that kind of remark because it's a lie. This is September 22nd, 2021. What we now have are the Democrats fawning over the Haitians that are coming across the border in massive numbers. We've shown you the pictures. You know about them from Del Rio, Texas, where at last report there was something like 20,000. Now supposedly it's down to maybe half that. But we're also told there are other caravans preparing to go to the same area. The video Schumer was referring to is being seized upon by the Democrats and state-controlled media as, my God, look at this racist. These are people on horses whipping people that are trying to come into our country. Let's clarify something quickly. Most Border Patrol agents are Mexican descent. I don't see how they can be racist. Oh, but the Haitians aren't Mexican. They're more black. Oh, okay. You want to look at that? All right. And they're not using any whips. They're not given whips. These are riders on horseback with reins to control the horse. And, yes, they have excessively long reins so they can slap it at people to get them away from the horses so they don't try to grab the horse's bridle. And in many cases save someone from harm because the horses could knock them over and step on them. So they're trying to get them to keep their distance. But this is what we're into now. They're going to go crying out and doing this, and now another lie is exposed in the process. They always want to find some new sparkly thing that will take your attention away, such as this now. A rider on a horseback is supposed to be bigger than the Afghan disaster, and it's supposed to be bigger than the lie that they're trying to pull off. Remember, I told you yesterday they claim that they're deporting Haitians back to their country. Turns out they're not really deporting a lot of them. They're releasing them into the interior of the U.S. There have been maybe 400 to 500 put on planes going back to Haiti. And when they get to Haiti, some of them won't get off or they try to get back onto the plane. They don't want to stay in Haiti. And in some cases where the Haitians are being gathered up by Border Patrol agents put on buses, they start tussling. I'll use that phrase, tussling, instead of fighting with Border Patrol. But either way, they're reluctant because they're afraid they might be sent back to Haiti. And then we also have Chuck Schumer saying, I'm encouraging President Biden and Mayorkas to put an end to these deportations. In other words, we're not going to start deporting or continue or even fake it. We're going to say put an end to it. What do you think is going to happen at the border again now? Everything these people do, they want to insist we are not violating laws. We're letting people in that need to be here. These people seeking asylum, they're not being tested for COVID. They're being spread across the nation. They're lying to us about what they're doing with it. And then you talk about another lie that's catching fire, and that's the Bob Woodward book, praising General Mark Milley for calling China and warning him that he's keeping an eye on Trump. We're going to break down some of that interview. He appeared last night, I'm talking about Bob Woodward last night, on Stephen Colbert's CBS. So I want you to hear some of that because it's pretty weird. But on top of that, the thing they are ignoring, is validation that the information released by the New York Post, which all the state-controlled media wanted to ignore, is correct about Hunter Biden and his laptop and the comments and things that appeared. That one, they're still ignoring. Look away, don't look here. And then in Philadelphia, they are fighting like hell to reestablish what they call safe houses, a crack house, which would allow addicts to go and get their fix in an area that would be called harm reduction homes. This is what we're doing now? We have a lot to cover the next 2 hours. Lock and load. Ready on the right.
You can email Larry at LarryConnersUSA@gmail.com. LarryConnersUSA@gmail.com.